Hey, what's going on, everybody? Eric Bourassa here. I'm here today with the all-new Musicman Cutlass RS. Here's what I want to do is let's get into the sound clips and then we'll come back and talk about it. right, so I was running everything through my Friedman Runt 20, going direct into my computer. It's got great cab simulation. I tried the regular Cutlass and it just didn't do anything for me. So then I saw the Cutlass RS, which is the primary difference is we've got the roasted maple fingerboard, and then also the electronics are a little bit different. We have silent, mostly silent pickups here, which is big for me because I play with gain a lot and I love that single coil punch, but I need to be able to crank on the distortion and not have all this hiss and noise. So I started playing around with this guitar and immediately was attracted to the tone. So I wrote this little riff for when I was going out guitar testing, sort of. Okay, and then in positions 4 and 2, I particularly wanted to hear that. And this guitar, it was like I plugged it in and immediately I heard that, yes, that punch, that mid-range, throaty kind of snarl that, that I was after, and particularly with some gain. Here's my test. I like to hit an A, an open A, and mute everything else. And I listen for that punch. And you can really hear it come alive in this guitar. Now, by the way, there's a little bit more noise coming through this amp that you're going to hear that you didn't probably hear in the decently recorded demo from before, and that's just because of a grounding issue in this room. That is what got me. It had a humbucker in the bridge position. I need that. For when I want to rock, but then I want to be able to do builds like this. So whenever I do single note riffs, I will go to position 2, 3, or 4, and then when I go to all out chords, then I go for the strumming. So I like distorted chords with a humbucker, and I like distorted riffs with single coil, and I like pretty much all clean sounds with single coil. That's what I was after. I felt like this guitar had that. Let's get into some of the specifics. This guitar, I feel like, is nearly perfect, but it's for me, it's not quite everything I wanted, right? We all have our things, and if we built our own signature guitar, and this is so close to exactly what I want, but not quite there. For starters, this is a 22 fret guitar. I realize most people who are looking for this are probably looking for a Strat-style guitar and want 22 frets. I want 24. So that's my first nitpicky grievance with this guitar. The feel of the neck is really awesome. It's really amazing when you just strum chords. It's got a very full but clear sound, and the neck really resonates when you strum. I love the way that feels. I believe these are medium frets, and I prefer medium jumbo, and so that's taking a little getting used to. Also, the Musicman neck is very different. I'm used to a Strat style neck, and even most shred guitars kind of base their necks on that Fender feel. I never could get into the Gibson feel. And the Musicman has a totally different feel. If you like Musicman necks already, you will love this neck. If you don't like Musicman necks, then you won't like it. And if you're not sure, then I would definitely try a Musicman out. Even if you can't try out this specific guitar, if you can try out most of the Musicman guitars, their necks feel like this. Now, here's my biggest grievance of all. I could only get the action so far before I started to get fret buzz. And when I play on my Fenders, I have two, and I've owned a few in the past, and anytime I play on Fenders, the action I can get super low and not have any issues with it fretting out. But this guitar, whenever I try, I've played 3 of these, and all of them, the action was set kind of high, and I think that's by design. I think it's supposed to be more of a rhythm guitar and not a lead guitar for like shredding and stuff like that, which is also what I want. I guess I want it all. And so when I lowered the action to where I wanted, I was getting too much fret buzz. So you can hear this if I hit it hard enough. That buzz is there. And of course you have that on all electric guitars to some extent, but I notice it definitely more on this guitar, on the lower frets and on the higher frets. So I had the guitar professionally set up twice, and then I still was not happy with it, and so I messed with it. So I've never had a brand new guitar, or even a used guitar, that I've had to mess with the neck so much to get it where I want. I like the 5-way switch. I like the simplicity of just the single volume, the single tone. The whammy bar feels great. The bridge stays in tune amazingly well. The tuners are all locking, and I love that. This nut, I guess there's something special about it. I don't know what it is. But it's fine. Guitar stays in tune really well, and it's beautiful. It's a great look. You can see the back of the neck. Oh, yes. And the front. People are always asking me, they're like, what is that? They're like, it doesn't look like rosewood, but it doesn't look like maple. So it's a flamed maple that's been roasted. And from what my insiders tell me, when they roast the maple, it brings out that punch even more. This guitar also has a battery. A 9-volt, and that is to help keep the pickups running silently, I believe. And they're not totally silent, but they are. So like my Clapton has noiseless pickups, and that has its pros and cons just because it seems to affect the tone a little bit, and it loses a little bit of clarity, but it sounds great. So my guess is the reason why they didn't make these totally silent is because maybe they were going to lose some clarity with that. But nevertheless, when I play with gain, it sounds really great, and I don't have to worry about any of the noise. That's really cool. These pickups are really passive, and they're very quiet. Like my other guitars, I plug any of those in, I plug in anyone else's guitars. The volumes are pretty consistent. I have to turn the amp up quite a bit when I plug this guy in. Not a big deal, but that is a noticeable difference. I love how you can adjust the truss rod right here. That is quite handy. And then my only other complaint about the guitar is the case. Okay, so here is my Musicman case. And then here is a Fender flight case. Okay? And you can see, just standing them up, how much taller the Musicman one is and how much wider it is. In every other case I've ever owned, no problem. You throw it in the back of the car, and I have a decent-sized SUV, and I just throw it back there. The Musicman, I have to position it like at an angle, kitty corner, and it barely fits. And it's like, why? Why do we need a case this gigantic? Other than like if you need to put your entire rig in the case, you know, you need extra cables and straps and your tuner and everything you want to put in there, then awesome, it's very convenient. But if you just need a little compartment like I do, then this case is way too big. So overall, my verdict is if you are looking for a great rhythm guitar that you can do clean tones and light gain tones really well on, this is probably the guitar for you. I don't know if I've played a better Strat-style guitar than this. So I hope this has been helpful. I hope the sounds were good, and if you've seen my other review video, the only other one I've ever done, then I hope this is at least a step up. I don't think this is anywhere near the quality of review videos that I've seen, but let me know what you think. Hopefully I'm at least improving in my presentation. Like, dislike, subscribe. Stay tuned for all kinds of other crazy things, and I've got some songs that I've recorded and written with this Musicman, so you can check those out on my channel. Okay, I've been Eric. I am still Eric. I think I'll continue to be Eric, and bye-bye!